What an exciting day here in Watsessing Park as we honor Olympic gold medalist Horace Ashenfelter as a member of a state champion track and field team at Immaculate Conception High School. We were, I know Glen Ridge, are we still rivals with Glen Ridge? We used to be bigger rivals with Glen Ridge. I don't think as much anymore, but we had some unbelievable track and field teams. I loved watching the runners as a shot putter and a discus thrower. I didn't get to go around the track a lot, but I loved track and field, and I'm excited to be here today to be this close to a gold medal winner. So to get this program started right, I'm going to call up Reverend Dr. David Stinson, the senior minister of the Glen Ridge Congregational Church, for the invocation. Reverend?
Let's pray. God, we thank you for our neighbor Horace and for his life and his gifts to our community and to the world through his running. We thank you for this track and the people that have made it possible for this day. We thank you for all the young people and others who will run on it over the years to come. This we pray in your name. Amen.
Here in East Orange, in which I hail from. This is the city that I hail from. But I know that you're going to be very, very proud of what I'm about to say next, and that's not only is our county executive, the county executive had the vision to dedicate the track to you, but he had the vision along with myself and my freeholder colleagues and the three gentlemen standing here from the Park Conservancy to do the park changes. And they've been canvassing since last summer saying we want the new track, the new this, and there's so much that's happening now, and it's just going to be incredibly beautiful. And these are the gentlemen who are going to make sure that they help take care of the park. So Joe, if you don't mind, I just want to send maybe 10 seconds just to say welcome from the president of the association. Just 10 seconds. I want to share my mic time.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here today. Just wanted to make it clear that it's a collaboration thing of the City of East Orange. Mayor Lester Taylor also is involved in this. What we wanted to do, we wanted to identify a safe park, and what we did first was we identified the outside of the park. We noticed that the sidewalks needed to be repaired. Okay, so that was the first thing we identified. The second thing we did was we wanted to create some programs, and we started in 2015, the spring of 2015, with a flag program, which we had over 120 kids involved. And from that, we went to our spring football. From that, we went to our summer basketball camp, which we held here, and we had over 50 kids collaborating with the City of East Orange for the food. The kids were fed breakfast and lunch, and it was a wonderful program. So we want to continue those things, and we want to thank everyone that was involved in allowing us to achieve the conservatory here at Watsessing Park. Thank you.
Congratulations again.
So Watsessing Park is in East Orange, it's in Bloomfield, but one of the biggest users of the park is the municipality of Glen Ridge. And to say a few words, the great mayor from Glen Ridge, Stuart Patrick. Stuart?
Good afternoon. I'm extremely pleased to welcome you all here this afternoon, and especially to welcome our honoree Horace Ashenfelter and his wife Lillian and sons Jim and John, Jim's wife Kit and John's son David, who are with us today for this very fitting tribute to one of Glen Ridge's most noted residents. I first met Horace 5 to 6 years ago when I became a member of the Glen Ridge Country Club, and I've had the pleasure of playing golf with him on several occasions. As many of you know, Horace is modest and unassuming, and I found it remarkable that he was not only an Olympian, but a gold medalist at that. He's an American sports icon and local hero who's lived just up the street and around the corner in Glen Ridge for over 65 years with his wife Lillian. All 4 of their sons are graduates of Glen Ridge High School. As I know you will be hearing a great deal more about Horace and his astounding accomplishments from the speakers here today, I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the individuals who have made this dedication possible. First, I wish to acknowledge and express our deep appreciation to our County Executive, Joe DiVincenzo, and and to the Board of Chosen Freeholders for bestowing this great honor on Horace. Joe has always been a great friend to Glen Ridge and has been exceedingly generous in making county athletic fields available to our many sports teams. More recently, he partnered with Montclair and Glen Ridge in financing the installation of artificial turf at Washington Field, which has proven to be a fantastic and much needed addition to our field inventory. While Washington Field has greatly exceeded even our most optimistic expectations for playability, it has also given us the ability to rest our sod fields during the year, which has greatly improved their strength and durability, which is a great win-win for us. I would also like to thank Councilman Dan Murphy, Glen Ridge's Chair of Parks and Recreation, for first recommending to the Borough Council and Administration that we petition the county to have the Watsessing Field Track named in honor of Horace Ashenfelter. As a result of Dan's strong commitment to the idea, our Borough Administrator, Michael Rohall, discussed the proposal with Joe DiVincenzo, and as they say, the rest is history, or will be shortly. So Michael and Dan, thank you for all your perseverance in making this a very fitting dedication to reality. Thank you.
From one mayor to the next, we're in his municipality. Mayor Lester Taylor, East Orange Mayor.
Thank you, Bill. Good afternoon, everyone. To the family of Mr. Ashenfelter, first and foremost, congratulations. When I read your bio or your athletic accomplishments and accolades, I was so impressed to have someone of your stature in our presence here in the great city of East Orange. To our county executive, Joe DiVincenzo, thank you for your leadership, along with the entire Board of Chosen Freeholders, in making sure that this park, not only your motto putting Essex first, but in my opinion, this is one of the nicest parks in the county of Essex, and I thank the county executive for, quite frankly, being a man of action. One of my favorite terms is ABC, always be closing. And the reality is Joe D closes deals and he closes them quickly. This park right here looks so different than it did just 6 months ago with new basketball courts, new track, new flowers. This is phenomenal. This embodies the image of urban excellence that we are working for every single day in the city of East Orange. I welcome you all here to this great city, and I have one challenge before I go. About a month and a half ago, our county executive beat me fair and square in a foul shooting contest here at this basketball court. A few weeks later, I beat him in tennis, although he claims he won in tennis. Mr. Ashenfelter, running is too easy. I understand that you did a steeplechase as well, so I'm going to challenge Joe D to I guess it's a match in steeplechase. So you name the date and the time, and I'll be there. So thank you all for coming out. Have a great day.
Fun to watch. As long as you guys can race, and me and your chief of staff Allende could do like some weight events, because he's about 110 pounds. I could definitely outhrow him in the shot put and the discus. So. But the moment that I told you we'd hear from them again, I'm so looking forward to it. For a musical interlude, the Glen Ridge Choir once again.
I feel the earth move under me. I feel the sky tumbling down, tumbling down. I feel the heart start trembling wherever you're around. Oh baby, when I see your face, mellow as a mother made. Oh darling, I can't stand it when you look at me that way. I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down, tumbling down. I feel my heart start to tremble wherever you're around. Why you fools fall in love? Why do birds sing so gay? And lovers read the break of day. Why do they fall in love? Why does the rain fall from above? Why do fools fall in love? Why do they fall in love? Love is a losing game. Love can be a shame. I know a fool you see. For that fool is me. Tell me why. Tell me why. Why do fools fall in
Impressive. So, we've accepted the match, Lester, the race. But Joe wants you to know he's got bad knees, so he's going to have the chairman of the Democratic Party, I want to introduce him, Leroy Jones, run in his stead. You know, they're partners, they're brothers, Joe handles the government, Leroy handles the politics, and that includes all races. Election races and steeplechase races. So I think it's fair, but I just want to recognize Leroy Jones, the chairman of the Democratic Party. To bring remarks, Councilman from the borough of Glen Ridge, Dan Murphy. Councilman.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. I too wish to thank our County Executive Joe DiVincenzo and the Board of Chosen Freeholders for recognizing Horace, also known as Nip Ashenfelter, in this classy and unique way. I can't take credit for the original suggestion of naming this beautiful track here at Watsessing Park for Nip, as I first came upon the idea on social media, as it has its own Facebook page, Name the Watsessing Park for Horace Ashenfelter. The author of which, despite my best efforts, remains unknown. If this person is here, please introduce yourself. Oh, well, as a lifelong Glen Ridge resident, I'd heard that an Olympic gold medalist lived in town. It was mythical in a way. My first sighting of Nip was when I was 8 years old playing Little League, as he was the coach of an opposing team. To my amazement, the Olympian was just a normal, regular dad coach. I was expecting something on the level of Johnny Weissmuller. Tarzan-like. But it's Nip's understated qualities and his approachability which sets him apart from today's top athletes. When I asked Nip about naming the Thanksgiving Day turkey trot to the Ashenfelter AK Classic, Nip, in his modest way, "Do you think it would help?" Evidently, it did, as the race has grown from just over 100 finishers as a turkey trot in 1999 to just over 3,100 finishers as the Ashenfelter Classic in 2015. Back in the 1970s, I ran cross country for Glen Ridge High School, and Nip's son John, who's here today, was on the team. While most parents watched the race from one vantage point, Nip would run from one tangent to the other, seemingly being everywhere on the 3-mile cross-country course, cheering us on. My dad, who was a close friend of Nip, could never keep up, and complained that Nip tried to kill him. My guess is if Nip laced up, that as a 50-something parent, he would have smoked all of us high school competitors. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to Tom Fleming, a 2-time New York City Marathon champion, founder of Fleming Racing, and coach of the Montclair Kimberly Academy track and cross-country teams. Tom?
Thank you very much, Dan. I also would like to thank that man right over there, Joseph DiVincenzo, Essex County Executive, and Essex County freeholders for making this day possible. I'm extremely happy to see this crowd out here today. Dan, thank you for everything that you do as a Glen Ridge Council person, but also I do have the name of that person. It was social media, excuse me, and I believe it was Mr. Frank McCree, who's an Essex Catholic person. I saw that on social media. I immediately jumped at it, knowing Horace and Lillian for all the years that I was in Bloomfield and then Glen Ridge. I thought it was something we had to do. So that's a name I'll throw out there. You can correct me later. To honor Horace Ashenfelter and the naming of the Horace Ashenfelter Track here at Watsessing Park, this is Horace Ashenfelter's Olympic training ground. I'm not sure how much you know, but Dan and I did some research, and we're doing this every year for the Ashenfelter 8K. Horace Ashenfelter, 1952, 3,000 meter steeplechase Olympic champion in Helsinki, Finland. That's 1952. It was a new world record when he won the gold medal, and he beat his arch rival from the Soviet Union. You can tell me the name later. I just lost it. But think about this time: 8 minutes 45 seconds, .4. He not only wins the gold medal, he breaks the world record. Later that year, Horace won the prestigious James E. Sullivan Award, America's top amateur athlete. Horace is 18 times national champion, ranging from 2 miles to 10,000 meters. And in 2012, he was inducted into the National Distance Running Hall of Fame. I also know for a fact, being I was a big fan living here in northern Jersey, knowing you were in the neighborhood, I believe it was 5 times winning the Milrose Games in Madison Square Garden. Unbelievable achievements. I'm extremely humbled right now to be asked to speak today and tell you a very short and I don't think it's funny, but short and feeling story about the time that I went to Horace's house. And actually, the star of this show is right there, Lillian. Lillian becomes the star, not Horace. But I'm 17 years old. I started running, and I found out that one of my arch rivals from Glen Ridge High School was named Tommy Ashenfelter. Someone said Tommy's dad won a gold medal. I said, really? Geez, that's pretty good. I figured, how many dads could really be doing that? So with that, I questioned a good friend, a mutual friend, the Ramsey family, and they said, yes, Tommy's dad won a gold medal. So I jumped on my bicycle from the corner of Berkeley and Liberty in Bloomfield and drove my bicycle, not run, I drove my bicycle up about 2 miles to Horace's front door. I had the address. I remember being very nervous walking up to the door. I rang the doorbell. The doorbell did not work. I ended up knocking. I remember this like it was yesterday. I knocked the door. Lillian came to the door. Mrs. Ashenfelter, hi, my name is Tommy Fleming from Bloomfield, and I would love to see a gold medal. I was literally speaking back there. Horace, she's wonderful, as you know, 71 years, I believe. I know how wonderful she is, but the most important part of the story is that I got to see an Olympic gold medal. That was my first Olympic gold medal, and I tell the young kids today that I work with, you never know the motivation they can get. I held it, I saw it, I've never seen an Olympic gold medal before. It still gets me excited today. I'm an old man today, I'm 65 years old today. I also try to motivate, I try to motivate young people to run. This man motivated me, he motivates every single student athlete who is here sitting today, and I want to say congratulations, and I'm thrilled that this track is being named after a champion like you. Thank you very much.
Tom, thank you. But I think it was sort of glanced over, even if it was mentioned, but Tom Fleming is a 2-time winner of the New York City Marathon. I mean, that's very impressive in itself. And as a shot putter, what's the motivation to even run a marathon? I mean, I can't even understand that. I know when we had our dual meets against Glen Ridge, if it was decided, we used to let the weight guys do the mile relay, and I couldn't get past the 3rd turn, let alone a marathon. I mean, that's miserable. Anyway, They're here now. I want to recognize them for being here. We heard from the MKA coach, but we have members of the Glen Ridge track and field team that are represented today. They can wave and say hello. And who better to come up and say a few words than the son of Horace Ashenfelter, James Ashenfelter.
On behalf of the family, I'd like to thank everybody as well. Our county executive, thank you, members of the board of freeholders, the parks commissioners, and all the other people. I was going to thank Tom and Dan because I thought you guys were the ones who initiated this, so I guess I don't have to say that. But it was, I think Dan and Tom had a great deal to do with it. I also think Peter Hughes, our former mayor, should be recognized as well. So there are a lot of people to thank. A lot of people have already done a great job of presenting this affair today. But the family's grateful. My mother's grateful. My father is as well. I think you've now heard a little bit of the history of my dad's running accomplishments. Mom did a very good job on that. You could talk for months about different things. My father has different stories. Over the years, they've sometimes changed. I don't know that his can get any better than they normally are because his can be checked. The rest of ours, you can't. What people don't know is that he also ran in the 1956 Olympics. He just missed making the 48 Olympics. And he does claim to have run more laps on this particular track than any other track that he's run on. We moved to Glen Ridge when I was born in 1951, right before the 52 Olympics. And he did quite a bit of his training during the 50s, right down here at this track you can walk down. And he trained here and at Carteret Park. At Carteret Park, he built a steeplechase hurdle that would bring that out. He'd run over that, and he would also line the kids up and hurdle over the kids. Remember that. Another interesting story is that his brother Bill also ran in the 1952 Olympics with him. Most people don't remember that, but the two of them went 1-2 in the trials in qualifying that year in the steeplechase. And when they ran at Penn State, there was another brother, Don, who also ran. And one year the three brothers won the 4-mile relay team with a fourth gentleman running in it. So they had quite a team back then. But as I said, he claims to have run more laps here. And now this is the story that can't be proven or disproven. That my father claims that one day he was at this track with Kurt Stone, who was a 3-time Olympian from Penn State, ran the 48, 52, and 56 Olympics. He was a 5,000, 10,000 runner. And my dad's story is that together they collectively broke the world record in the 5,000-meter run. They were timing themselves. One of those things, as I say, it can't be proven or disproven, but he's got the cred so that, it's very possible. It's very possible. So there's not much more that I can say other than, again, to thank everybody. My father is very grateful to have had this honor. This is the second track named after him. We have the indoor track at Penn State. It's also named the Horace Ashenfelter Indoor Track, and it's quite a facility that we're very proud of. But this one is closer to the heart in a sense because he still comes down here 2 or 3 days a week. He walks down, and then he'll do his jog, as he calls it. It's more of a walk these days around this particular track. So he knows the people down here. He's friendly with the ladies that are here in the mornings. And, this is home for him. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you, James. We're going to make a special presentation, but I just wanted to recognize the mayor of Montclair, Robert Jackson's here. And the great surrogate from the County of Essex, Ted Stevens. Ted, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to ask Brittany to make a special presentation to Mrs. Ashenfelter, Lillian.
These are for you. Thank you so much for sharing this with the entire world. It's truly an honor.
Joe did.
You know, any good leader is as good as a team. In the last 14 years, there's no question in Essex County, I feel I have the best team in the state of New Jersey. The young guy that you see over there, Phil Elijah, is my chief of staff. He's been with me ever since he's been 16 years old. He was going to Rutgers at the time, Rutgers Newark. He was a big-time wrestler. He didn't receive any scholarship, Tom. So we were in the midst of a political campaign. So I went to see this young man, Phil. I said, Phil, you're not getting a scholarship. You don't like to work out. Come on, we got to go run a political campaign. So what did he do? He went to see his coach, picked up his bag, and he walked out with me. And he's been with me ever since.
Good business decision.
Leroy Jones, you know, he's not only the chairman of the party, but he was a former assemblyman, former freeholder, so he knows how government works. But most importantly, he's my friend. And he's been my friend for 40 years. He's helped me get to where I'm at, so I want to thank you, Leroy. To Brittany and the entire freeholder board, at whatever we do, and you're absolutely great. To the three mayors, of course, Lester, I beat you in tennis, Lester. I beat you in basketball. I'm not a good runner. You probably will beat me in running. To Stuart from Glen Ridge, to Mike Venezia, I don't know if he is from Bloomfield. You know, Essex County, we have 22 towns, 800,000 people, and our strength, I believe, is our diversity. That's why Essex County is a special town, special county. And the three towns here share this park, Watsessing Park. All right, and we want to make sure it was done right. And Brittany and Lester, Mike Venezia, you know, we already, when I first took over, we did the track, we did the field, but it had to be redone. So that's what we did, and we're going to continue to fix up. I want you to know, Horace, the fence out there is going to be started to work on it. Instead of green, it's going to be black. There will be a beautiful black fence here, right from here all the way down to Bloomfield Avenue. It's going to look absolutely beautiful. Next year, there's going to be a spray park, or you call it a splash park, right next to the playground over here. But we're going to continue to improve this park. Now, let me tell you how this happened, Horace. First of all, Dan Murphy, Tom Fleming, Mike, the mayor from Glen Ridge, was lobbying very, very hard. But besides them lobbying, it was the people from Glen Ridge that were posting me on Facebook that you have to do this. You have to name this complex. Now, I would have done it last year, but we weren't ready to do it last year. I'm not going to put somebody's name on here, and just to put somebody's name, we got to make sure it looks right, especially the Olympic gold medal winner, as you, Horace. And we're very, very proud. You know, if I didn't do it, I was worrying about that Horace 2 years from now would run for county executive. So I wanted to do the right thing. It was politically motivated for me. So I had my self-interest. I want you to know that, Horace. But you're well deserving of this honor, naming this complex. Tom Fleming, you know, he is also a special guy here in this county. And what he's done, he put us on the map. And you've got a pretty good resume, young guy. And we're very, very proud of you. And I like the words that you said about Horace. So Horace, could you join me? I would like to have Dan, Mike, the family, the Ashenfelter family up here. Horace, come on, freeholders. Lester, come on. Leroy. Hey, come on up. Come on, Ryder. Come on up. Come on, Leroy. Come on. Also, I want to thank, I see Mayor Jackson from Montclair. I want to thank him for being here tonight. And also the Watsessing Park Conservancy. I want to thank them because they are our eyes and our ears here. Go ahead.
Okay, Horace, this is for you. This is for you. Okay. Essex County salutes Horace Ashenfelter with a quote of his: "There are few distance runners who are born great. You have to work very hard, very often." That's from him, a 1952 Olympic champion. Horace Ashenfelter did not start to run until age 23, when, as a married man, he returned to Penn State after serving as a fighter pilot during World War II. Once he began to run, he dominated long-distance track competitions in events ranging from 2-mile races to cross-country events, indoor and outdoor, from the late 1940s through the mid-50s. He held 3 national collegiate titles and 15 national AAU titles. An FBI agent, he had to work overtime to earn enough vacation hours to compete in the 1952 Olympic steeplechase in Helsinki. Just imagine today what the labor lawyers would be doing with that. Each night after putting his children to bed, he would train in Carteret or Essex County Watsessing Parks, often using benches as hurdles. His Olympic victory in unofficial record-breaking time, 8.45, over Russian Vladimir, how do we pronounce his name? Vladimir? Kazantsev. Kazantsev, Russian name, right, was considered a victory of democracy over communism during the time of the Cold War. It earned him the Sullivan Award as American Amateur Athlete of the Year. He also participated in the '56 Olympics. A 5-time Milrose Game winner of the 2-mile run, he was named to their Hall of Fame. Inducted also into the National Track and Field and the New Jersey Sports Halls of Fame. Is there anything left? Did you miss anything? Okay. He is proud that Penn State named their indoor track for him, and that his longtime hometown of Glen Ridge holds a Thanksgiving Day Ashenfelter 8K run. At the age of 93, he still enjoys a daily jog. As dedicated today, Joseph N. DiVincenzo Jr., Essex County Executive, and the Board of Chosen Freeholders, and as we always say, putting Essex County first.
To know at our courthouse, the other 3 people that we honored last year that has a plaque similar to this was Yogi Berra from Montclair, Monty Irvin, which we're unveiling a statue for him at Orange Park on Wednesday at 12 o'clock, and of course our very own Larry Doby. All right. And this is,
I'll add to that story. When we were kids, my father took us over to Monty Irvin's house.
right.
We played ping pong with him. And then we gave him a dozen balls and he took them in and got really amazed to sign them.
Every time I picked up Monty Irvin from the airport, because he was very involved in Project Pride, myself and Phil, I always had the first thing when we got off the plane, I had to take him to buy a pair of shoes. So, but he was a good friend. All right, we're going to take this one down here. You want to go pull it down? Down the east side.
First date's been called this. First date had a name.
I just say thank you to all of you. You've been great, and I hope that you can keep on doing this good work.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.